I'm sitting on my old leather sofa, the same one Margaret and I picked out 23 years ago. My body feels like it's been run over by a freight train. Every muscle aches. My head pounds with a rhythm that matches my racing heartbeat. The fever makes everything feel distant, like I'm watching my life through frosted glass. I reach for my phone with trembling fingers. The screen blurs as I scroll to her name. Sarah, my daughter, my little girl who used to climb into this very sofa and demand I read her the same bedtime story 5 times in a row. I press call. It rings once, twice, 3 times. Dad? Her voice comes through, but it's that distracted tone I've grown too familiar with lately. I can hear activity in the background, her kids yelling, a television playing, dishes clanking. Sweetheart? I have to pause because even talking takes effort. I'm not well. I need some help. There's a long sigh on the other end, the kind of sigh that says I'm interrupting something important. Dad, seriously? We're too busy right now. Mark has that presentation tomorrow. Emma has soccer practice. Tyler needs help with his science project. And I've got a mountain of laundry, and we haven't even had dinner yet. I close my eyes. Sarah, I haven't been able to get out of bed properly for 2 days. I just need... Dad. Her voice is sharp now, cutting through my words like scissors through paper. We have our own lives, our own problems. You're an adult. Just handle it yourself, okay? I really can't deal with this right now. The line goes dead before I can respond. I sit there in the silence of my empty house, phone still pressed to my ear, listening to nothing. The ceiling fan rotates slowly above me, the same fan Margaret insisted we install during that hot summer 10 years ago. Everything in this house holds a memory of her, and right now, her absence feels heavier than ever. I set the phone down on the coffee table. My hands are shaking, whether from fever or emotion. I can't tell anymore. That's when it hits me, really hits me. I know exactly where I stand in my daughter's priorities. Margaret died 14 months ago. Breast cancer. Stage 4 by the time they found it. She fought for 18 months with everything she had, and I fought right beside her, holding her hand through every chemo session, every doctor's appointment, every terrifying scan result. When she finally slipped away on that Tuesday morning in April, a part of me went with her. Sarah was there at the end. She cried. She held her mother's other hand. She said all the right things at the funeral, but then, like everyone else, she returned to her life. And I was left here, in this house that echoes with Margaret's absence, trying to figure out how to exist in a world that no longer includes her. I told myself it was natural. Sarah has a family, 2 kids, a husband, a career she's worked hard to build. She's busy. Everyone's busy. But here's what nobody tells you about being a parent. You spend your whole life being needed, and then suddenly you're not. And that transition doesn't come with a manual. Before Margaret got sick, I was useful. I'd drive over to Sarah's house twice a week to watch the kids, while she and Mark had date night. I fixed their leaking faucet. I repainted their dining room. I lent them money for a new car when theirs died, never asked for it back. When Emma broke her arm, I was at the hospital within 30 minutes. I showed up, always, without question. Margaret used to tell me I did too much. They need to learn to handle things themselves, she'd say gently, watching me rush out the door to help with yet another crisis. They're our kids, I'd reply. That's what we do. But Margaret isn't here anymore to offer her gentle warnings. And I kept showing up because it made me feel less alone. Because being needed was better than sitting in this quiet house with only my grief for company. Until now. Until I'm the one who needs help. After Sarah hangs up, I spend the next hour just trying to get to the bathroom. It's a journey that should take 30 seconds, but feels like climbing Everest. My legs barely support my weight. The hallway tilts and sways. I have to grip the wall to keep from falling. I look at myself in the bathroom mirror and barely recognize the man staring back. My face is pale, covered in sweat. My eyes are bloodshot. I look old. When did I get so old? That night, I sleep on the sofa because I can't make it upstairs to my bedroom. I wrap myself in the throw blanket Sarah gave me 3 Christmases ago, back when she still seemed to care. The next morning, I check my phone. Nothing. No text asking how I'm feeling, no call to check in. I scroll through our message history. It's a one-sided conversation, me asking about the kids, me sending funny photos, me offering to help with various projects. Her responses are brief. Thanks, Dad. Busy. Talk later. When did this happen? When did I become an afterthought? Day 3 of the fever. I'm out of food. I managed to eat the last of the crackers and peanut butter yesterday. My refrigerator contains a half-empty carton of milk that's probably gone bad, some wilted lettuce, and condiments. I think about calling Sarah again. My finger hovers over her name, but I remember her words. Handle it yourself. So I do. I order groceries online, though it takes me 20 minutes to navigate the website because my hands won't stop shaking and my vision keeps blurring. I pay extra for same-day delivery. The delivery driver leaves the bags at my door, and it takes me 3 trips to bring them inside. I have to rest for 10 minutes between each trip. This is what 72 years old and sick and alone looks like. Day 4. The fever breaks slightly. I can think more clearly. I call my doctor's office. Mr. Patterson, based on what you're describing, you should really come in, the nurse says. Can someone drive you? I look around my empty living room. I'll manage. I drive myself to the clinic, gripping the steering wheel so hard my knuckles turn white. Every car that gets too close feels like a threat because my reaction time is garbage. But I make it. The doctor confirms it's a severe flu. You're dehydrated. You should have come in sooner. At your age, this can be dangerous. She looks at me with concern. Is there family who can check on you? I'm fine, I tell her. She doesn't look convinced, but she sends me home with prescriptions and instructions to rest and hydrate. At the pharmacy, I sit in the waiting area, watching families come and go. A young woman picks up medicine for her father. A middle-aged man collects a prescription for his mother. Everyone has someone. I pick up my own medicine. I drive myself home. I take the pills. I drink water. I survive. Day 5. The cough develops. It's deep and rattling, like something's loose in my chest. Every coughing fit leaves me exhausted. I sleep in 20-minute intervals because that's as long as I can go before another coughing attack wakes me up. Still nothing from Sarah. I imagine what Margaret would say if she could see this. She'd be disappointed in our daughter. Margaret was always the one who taught Sarah about family, about loyalty, about showing up for the people you love. Your father would do anything for you, she told Sarah once when Sarah was complaining about something I can't even remember. Don't ever take that for granted. But maybe Sarah didn't listen, or maybe she's forgotten. Day 6. I'm functional enough to shower. The hot water feels like heaven against my aching muscles. I stand there longer than necessary, letting the steam fill my lungs, hoping it'll help the cough. I check my phone afterward. There's a message in the family group chat. The one with Sarah, her brother David, who lives in Seattle, and me. Sarah has posted pictures of Emma's soccer game. Emma scored a goal. Everyone looks happy. David responds, "Go, Emma." I stare at the photos. Sarah was well enough to go to a soccer game. She had time to take pictures, to post them, to celebrate with her family. But she didn't have 5 minutes to check if her father was alive. I don't respond to the photos. I turn off my phone and go back to sleep. Day 7. I wake up feeling almost human. The fever is gone. The cough is still there, but manageable. My body aches, but I can move without feeling like I'm going to collapse. I sit on the sofa with my coffee, the first cup I've actually enjoyed in a week, and I take stock of my situation. I survived. Alone. Without help. Without family. Without anyone who apparently gives a damn. And something inside me hardens. It's not anger exactly. It's colder than that. It's clarity. I see the relationship for what it's actually become. Transactional. I'm useful when they need something. Otherwise, I'm an obligation they'd rather avoid. Margaret would tell me I'm being unfair, that I'm hurt and not thinking clearly. But Margaret isn't here. And maybe if she were, Sarah would have been different. Maybe I was always just the secondary parent, and now that the primary one is gone, I don't matter as much. I'm finishing my coffee when my phone buzzes. It's Sarah. My heart does this stupid hopeful thing where it thinks maybe she's finally checking on me. Maybe she realized she made a mistake. Maybe she's calling to apologize. I open the message. Dad, can you co-sign our mortgage today? Bank says we need your credit score to get approved. This is really important. Call me ASAP. I read it again, then again. 7 days of silence. 7 days of not knowing if I was alive or dead. 7 days of me figuring it out myself. And now she needs something. My phone buzzes again. Dad, did you see my message? We already picked out the house. It's perfect. But we need you to co-sign. Can you come to the bank at 2 p.m. today? Another buzz. This is really important. We can't get approved without you. Another. Dad, why aren't you answering? I set the phone down carefully on the coffee table. My hands are steady now. No fever shakes. No trembling from weakness. I'm completely calm. I think about all the times I've dropped everything for her. All the times I've said yes without hesitation. All the times I've put her needs above my own comfort, my own plans, my own life. I think about last week, about being so sick I couldn't stand, about calling her and being dismissed like I was a telemarketer interrupting dinner. Handle it yourself. Her words, her exact words. I pick up my phone. I type slowly, carefully, making sure every letter is exactly what I want to say. Figure it out yourself. I hit send. Then I turn off my phone and pour myself another cup of coffee. I leave my phone off for 2 hours. It's peaceful. I make myself lunch. Actual food, not crackers and peanut butter. I eat at the kitchen table like a civilized human being. I read the newspaper. I do the crossword puzzle. For 2 hours, I exist in a world where I'm not at anyone's beck and call. When I finally turn my phone back on, it explodes with notifications. 17 missed calls, 32 text messages, 4 voicemails. The messages come from Sarah, from Mark, her husband, from Mark's mother Janet, who I've met exactly 3 times, from Sarah's friend Melissa, who I don't even have in my contacts. She must have gotten my number from Sarah, and from numbers I don't recognize. I start reading. Sarah. Dad, what does that mean? Call me now. Sarah. This isn't funny. We have an appointment with the bank. Sarah. Dad, this is serious. Our whole future depends on this house. Mark. Hey, Jim, it's Mark. Not sure what's going on, but Sarah's really upset. Can you give us a call? Mark. Jim, we really need to talk about this. The bank needs an answer today. Janet. Jim, this is Janet, Mark's mother. I don't know what's happened between you and Sarah, but these kids need this house. Surely you can help your own daughter. Sarah. I can't believe you're doing this to us. Sarah. You know we can't get approved without you. Sarah. We already told Emma and Tyler we're moving. You're going to disappoint your own grandchildren? The voicemails are more of the same. Sarah's voice getting progressively more desperate and angry. Mark trying to sound reasonable but clearly frustrated. Janet giving me a lecture about family responsibility. I delete them all without listening to them fully. Then I type one message and send it to Sarah. I needed you last week. You were too busy. Now I am too. I don't elaborate, I don't explain, I don't justify. I just state the simple truth. Within seconds, my phone rings. It's Sarah. I decline the call. It rings again immediately. Decline. She tries 3 more times. I decline each one. Then the texts start coming rapid fire. Dad, you're being ridiculous. This is completely different. You're comparing being sick to us trying to buy a house? This is about my family's future. You're being petty and selfish. Mom would be ashamed of you right now. That last one hits like a physical blow. I stare at it for a long moment. Margaret would be ashamed? Margaret, who spent her final months telling me to take care of myself? Margaret, who worried I gave too much and asked for too little? Margaret, who told Sarah explicitly not to take me for granted? I type. Don't bring your mother into this. She's not here to defend herself. Sarah. Exactly. She's not here, so you're supposed to step up. Me? I tried to. Last week, you told me to figure it out myself. Sarah. That was different. Me? How? The typing bubbles appear and disappear several times. She's writing responses and deleting them. Finally, because I'm your daughter, I needed space to handle my own life. You're the parent. You're supposed to help. I read this several times, letting the words sink in. So I'm supposed to help when she needs it. But when I need help, I'm supposed to handle it myself because I'm the parent? At what age do I stop being required to give everything while receiving nothing? 72? 80? Never? The family group chat suddenly comes alive. David, my son in Seattle, enters the conversation. David. What's going on? Sarah just called me crying. Sarah immediately jumps in with her version. Dad is refusing to co-sign our mortgage because I couldn't help him when he had the flu last week. He's punishing me. David. Dad, is that true? I haven't talked to David in 3 weeks. He's busy with his job in tech, his own young family. He calls on my birthday and holidays. Sometimes he remembers Father's Day. He's not malicious about it. He's just absent. But at least he doesn't promise to be there and then abandon me. At least he doesn't tell me to handle things myself when I ask for help. Me. I was very sick last week. I called Sarah for help. She told me she was too busy and to figure it out myself. Now she needs help. I'm using her words back to her. David. Dad, come on. You're an adult. Sarah has kids. Of course she's busy. Me. And I'm a 72-year-old widower who had a 103-degree fever. But I figured it out. Like she said to. Sarah. See? He's being impossible. David. Dad, this is different. This is about their future, their house, the kids' school district. Me. And my health wasn't important? David. That's not what anyone is saying. Me? Then what are you saying? No response. Mark texts separately. Jim, I don't know what happened between you and Sarah, but we've been planning this move for months. The kids are excited. We can't let them down. Can we please just talk this through? I almost feel bad for Mark. He's a decent guy, works hard, loves Sarah, good father to the kids, but he's also completely absorbed in his own family unit, and I'm outside that unit now. Me. Did Sarah tell you she told me to handle my illness myself? That she didn't check on me once in 7 days? Mark doesn't respond for a long time. Then, she's been really stressed with work and the kids. That's not an answer. That's an excuse. My phone rings again. This time it's a number I don't recognize. I answer out of curiosity. Is this Jim Patterson? A woman's voice, older, stern. Yes? This is Janet Crawford, Mark's mother. I think we need to have a conversation about your behavior. I genuinely can't believe this is happening. I don't think we do. Now you listen here. These kids have been working so hard to find a house in a good school district. Do you know how hard the market is right now? They've been outbid 4 times. They finally found their dream home, and you're going to ruin it over some petty grudge? Janet, with all due respect, this is between me and my daughter. No, it's not. This affects my son and my grandchildren. Emma is so excited about having her own room. Tyler is excited about the big backyard. And you're going to break their hearts because you had the sniffles? I had a fever of 103 and was too weak to walk to my bathroom without holding onto walls. I had to drive myself to the doctor because no one else would. Well, Sarah has responsibilities. She can't just drop everything every time you feel under the weather. I'm not asking her to drop everything every time. I asked once, after years of me dropping everything for her countless times. That's what parents do. That's the job you signed up for when you had children. And what's the job children sign up for? Just taking? She sputters. You're being completely unreasonable. I'm very disappointed in you. I thought you were a better man than this. I'm sorry you feel that way, I say calmly. But my decision stands. I hang up before she can respond. The texts continue throughout the afternoon. Extended family members I haven't heard from in months suddenly have opinions. Sarah's friend Melissa sends me a long message about how Sarah is such a good mother and how stressed she's been and how I'm adding to her burden. A cousin I barely know sends a message saying family should support each other. I respond to none of them. At 4:37 p.m., Sarah sends, "The bank appointment was at 2. We missed it. They gave the house to another buyer who could close faster. I hope you're happy." I'm not happy, but I'm not unhappy either. I'm just done. I make myself dinner. I watch the evening news. I take my medicine. I go to bed at a reasonable hour. And for the first time in a week, I sleep through the night without coughing. She shows up at my house 2 days later. I'm in the garage, finally feeling well enough to do some light organizing. I'm sorting through boxes of Margaret's things that I've been avoiding for months. It's time. Past time, really. I hear the car pull into the driveway, the door slam, the footsteps on the walkway. Quick, angry footsteps. The doorbell rings insistently, 3 times in rapid succession. I put down the box I'm holding and walk to the front door. Through the glass, I can see Sarah. Her hair is pulled back in a messy ponytail. She's wearing sweatpants and an old college t-shirt. Her face is red and blotchy from crying. She looks like she hasn't slept. For a moment, I hesitate. She's still my little girl. The one I pushed on swings and taught to ride a bike. The one who used to think I could fix anything. But she's also the woman who told me to handle my illness myself, who didn't call once to check if I was alive. I open the door. "Dad." Her voice breaks immediately. "We need to talk." "Come in," I say quietly. She follows me to the living room. I sit in my armchair. Margaret's chair, really, but I've claimed it since she died. Sarah sits on the edge of the sofa, perched like she might bolt at any moment. "Do you have any idea what you've done?" She starts, and there's anger in her voice, but underneath it, I hear desperation. "That house was perfect. Perfect. It was in the best school district. It had a yard for the kids. It was close to Mark's work. And now it's gone because you—" She stops, pressing her hands to her face. "Because you wanted to prove a point. That's what you think this is? Proving a point? What else could it be?" She drops her hands, and her eyes are fierce. "You're punishing me because I couldn't help you when you were sick. Because I have my own life and my own family, and I can't always be available. I asked you once, Sarah, once in years of always being available for you. But your timing, my timing." I feel something cold settle in my chest. I didn't schedule getting sick. I didn't plan it to inconvenience you. That's not what I meant. She's crying now, tears streaming down her face. We had so much going on. Mark's presentation was make or break for his promotion. Emma had been looking forward to that game for weeks. Tyler's project was due, and I was sick enough to go to the hospital, I say quietly. She stops mid-sentence. What? I drove myself to the doctor's office. She asked if anyone was coming to pick me up. I said no. I leaned back in the chair. They almost admitted me for dehydration, but I convinced them I could manage at home. Sarah's face has gone white. You didn't tell me. You didn't ask. She opens her mouth, closes it. Dad, I'm sorry, I really am. But you're okay now. You recovered, and you're using that to destroy my family's future? Your family's future isn't my responsibility to fund. We're not asking you to fund it, just to co-sign. Your credit is better than ours because you've been... She stops herself. Because I've been what? Responsible? Careful with money? Working my whole life to build financial stability? I finish for her. All things you benefit from wanting now. That's not fair. What's not fair is you demanding I drop everything to help you with a major financial commitment when you couldn't drop anything to bring me soup when I had a fever of 103. They're not the same thing, I lean forward. Explain to me how they're different. She stares at me, mouth opening and closing. Because one is just helping out for a day or two, and the other is about our entire future. So when I needed short-term help, that wasn't important enough. But when you need long-term commitment from me, that should be my priority. You're twisting everything. I'm just repeating what you're saying, Sarah. She stands up abruptly, pacing to the window. I can't believe this. My own father is... She spins back to face me. Do you know what people are saying? About you? About me? I imagine quite a lot. They're saying I'm ungrateful, that I abandoned you, that I'm a terrible daughter. Her voice rises. Janet calls me every day to tell me how disappointed she is in me. My friends are taking sides. The family group chat is a nightmare. Everyone has an opinion about what a terrible person one of us is. And that's what bothers you? What people are saying? No, yes, She collapses back onto the sofa. I don't know anymore. I'm so tired. We've been house hunting for 8 months. 8 months of being outbid, of getting our hopes up and having them crushed. And this house was it, Dad. It was the one. And now it's gone, and we're back to square one, and Mark is barely speaking to me because he thinks this is my fault. Is it? She looks up at me, eyes red. What? Is it your fault? No, you're the one who refused to help. After you refused to help me. But I apologized. When? I genuinely can't remember this. She falters. I'm apologizing now. Because you need something, not because you felt bad about leaving me alone when I was sick. She's quiet for a long moment. Then, in a small voice, that's not true. Isn't it? I keep my voice gentle. Sarah, when did you realize you'd made a mistake? When you got the call that I was sick and thought maybe you should check on me, or when you needed me to co-sign a mortgage? Her silence is answer enough. I love you, I tell her, and I mean it. I will always love you. You're my daughter. But I'm tired of being treated like an ATM or a service provider. I'm tired of only being important when you need something. That's not... She cuts herself off, looking away. I do care about you. I believe you do, in your way, when it's convenient, when it doesn't interfere with your busy life. I have kids, Dad. I have a job. I have a million things pulling me in different directions. I know. And I never asked to be your top priority. I just asked to be on the list somewhere. I pause. Your mother would check on me every day if I had a cold. Did you know that? Even when she was dying, she'd ask me if I was feeling okay, if I'd eaten, if I needed anything. Sarah's face crumples. Don't bring Mom into this. She's already in it. She's the one who taught you about family, about showing up, about taking care of the people you love. Mom also taught me to set boundaries, to not let people take advantage of me. Is that what I'm doing? Taking advantage of you? No, but... She struggles. You're making me feel guilty for having a life. I'm not trying to make you feel anything. I'm just responding to you the way you responded to me. But it's different when you do it. You're the parent. We're back to this again. The circular logic that I'm supposed to give everything because I'm the parent, but she owes nothing because she's busy. Sarah, do you know what it was like? I ask quietly. Sitting in that doctor's office, having them ask if someone could pick me up, having to say no. Do you know what it's like to be 72 years old, widowed, sick, and completely alone? She looks down at her hands. I thought about calling you again. I stared at your name in my phone for 10 minutes, trying to decide if I should try one more time. And you know what stopped me? She shakes her head, not looking up. Your words. Figure it out yourself. They were so clear in my head, so definitive. You didn't want to be bothered, so I didn't bother you? I didn't mean... She finally looks up. I didn't mean forever. I just meant that day. That day I could have ended up in the hospital. That day I could have fallen and not been able to get up. That day I could have died alone in this house, and you wouldn't have known for days. Stop it, she whispers. I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm trying to make you understand. You made a choice, and choices have consequences. So you're punishing me? No. I shake my head. I'm protecting myself. There's a difference. She stands up again, wiping her eyes. I don't know what you want from me. I don't want anything from you anymore. That's the point. So that's it? You're just done with me? With your grandkids? I didn't say that. Then what are you saying? I take a breath, trying to find the right words. I'm saying that I can't keep being the only one who shows up. I can't keep giving everything and receiving nothing. I'm saying that if you only need me when you want something, then maybe we need to redefine what our relationship is. You're my father, and you're my daughter, which means it should go both ways. She stands there, trembling, tears streaming down her face. Part of me wants to stand up, hug her, tell her it's all okay. That's the instinct I've had for 43 years. Make it better, fix the problem, ensure she's happy, but I don't move. I can't believe you're doing this, she says finally, over a house. It's not about the house, Sarah. It's about you telling me to figure out my illness myself and then demanding I figure out your financial problems for you. We needed that house, and I needed someone to care if I was alive. The words come out louder than I intended. We both freeze. Sarah's eyes widen. She takes a step back. I soften my voice. I'm sorry for yelling, but you need to hear this. I drove myself to the doctor, barely able to see straight. I ordered my own groceries. I took care of myself completely alone for 7 days. And you didn't call once. Not once. You could have called me. I did call you, on day 1, and you told me to handle it myself. So you're saying I should have called every day? Checked on you constantly? I'm saying you should have called at least once. In 7 days. One text. Hey, Dad, are you still alive? That's all it would have taken. She has no response to that. We stand there in heavy silence. The clock on the mantel ticks. Outside, a car drives past. Normal sounds of a normal day, while my relationship with my daughter possibly ends in my living room. I should go, she finally says. Probably. She walks to the door, then turns back. You know what the worst part is? I came here to convince you to help us, to explain how important this is, to ask you to reconsider. She laughs bitterly. I didn't come to apologize. Not really. I came to get what I needed from you, and I didn't even realize that until just now. I don't say anything. I'm exactly what you said I am, aren't I? I only care when I need something. I think you care, Sarah. I just don't think I'm a priority. She nods slowly, tears spilling over again. Maybe you're right. She opens the door. I hope you're happy, Dad. I hope this was worth it. She leaves. I sit back down in Margaret's chair and stare at the empty room. I'm not happy, but I'm not sorry either. 3 weeks pass. 3 weeks of silence that stretches like a canyon between my daughter and me. 3 weeks of waking up in this empty house and making coffee for one. 3 weeks of checking my phone and finding nothing but spam calls and emails from my bank. I don't hear from Sarah. I don't hear from Mark. I don't hear from the kids. The silence should bother me more than it does. But there's something almost peaceful about it. No demands, no guilt, no feeling like I'm failing someone by simply existing and having needs of my own. I settle into a routine. Morning walks around the neighborhood. Breakfast at the kitchen table with the newspaper. I've started reading again. Actual books, not just articles on my phone. Margaret always said I should read more. I'm working through her favorite novels, the ones she kept on the shelf by her side of the bed. It feels like having conversations with her, in a way, understanding what she loved about these stories. I've also started sorting through her things properly. Not just the garage boxes, but everything. Her clothes, her jewelry, her collection of teacups from every place we traveled. Each item holds a memory, and I let myself sit with those memories instead of rushing past them. Margaret and I went to Italy for our 30th anniversary. We spent 2 weeks wandering through Florence and Rome and Venice. She bought a ridiculous number of teacups. For special occasions, she'd say, but we never used them. They sat in the cabinet, waiting for occasions that felt special enough. What were we waiting for? Every morning we had together was special. Every ordinary Tuesday, every quiet Sunday, all of it was special, and we didn't know it until it was over. I'm using the teacups now, every morning, because I'm done waiting for permission to enjoy things. I'm done saving things for someday. Someday is now. Someday is all I have. On day 17 of the silence, I do hear from David. He calls from Seattle one evening while I'm making dinner. Chicken piccata, one of Margaret's recipes that I'm finally attempting solo. Dad, what the hell is going on? His voice is frustrated, tired, coming through the speaker as I stir the sauce. Sarah's not talking to you. You're not talking to Sarah. Family dinners are a nightmare. Aunt Linda keeps asking me what's happening and I don't know what to tell her. Tell her the truth. Which is? I flip the chicken in the pan, watching it sizzle. That Sarah and I are working through some things. By not speaking? Sometimes silence is necessary. He sighs heavily through the phone. I can picture him in his Seattle apartment, probably looking out at the rain, running his hand through his hair the way he does when he's stressed. Dad, I know you're hurt. I get it. But this is getting out of hand. The kids are asking why Grandpa doesn't come around anymore. Sarah's a mess. Can't you just let it go? Let what go exactly? This whole thing. The mortgage, the fight, all of it. So I should just pretend nothing happened? I'm not saying that, but holding grudges doesn't help anyone. I turn off the stove and carry my plate to the table, phone still on speaker. The chicken looks good. Margaret would be proud. David, let me ask you something. When's the last time we talked? What? Dad, I'm calling you right now. Before the Sarah situation. When's the last time you called just to talk? Silence. Long enough that I think the call might have dropped. I'm not mad, I continue, cutting into my chicken. I understand you're busy. Seattle is far away. You have your own life. But tell me honestly, do you call me or do I always call you? I call you. Sometimes. On my birthday, on Father's Day, sometimes on Christmas. Dad, 3 times a year, David. You call me 3 times a year. And that's fine. Really. I'm not trying to make you feel guilty. But do you understand what I'm saying? That we're bad sons? No. I take a bite of chicken. It's actually pretty good. That relationships require effort from both sides. That I've been the only one putting in effort for a long time, and I'm tired. It's not that we don't care. Isn't it, though? I keep my voice gentle. When's the last time you asked me how I was doing? Really asked. Not just, hey Dad, how are you? And moving on before I can answer, but actually asked. More silence. I'm not trying to make you feel bad, son. I'm trying to make you understand. This isn't just about Sarah. This is about me realizing that I've spent years being available to my kids, and my kids have not been available to me. That's not fair. You're the parent. There it is again. That phrase. I set down my fork. I'm also a person. A person who lost his wife, a person who gets sick, a person who gets lonely in this empty house. At what point do I stop being just the parent and become someone whose needs matter too? David is quiet for a long moment. I can hear him breathing, thinking. I didn't realize you felt this way. Neither did I, until Sarah told me to handle my illness myself. She shouldn't have said that. No, but she did, and it made me see things clearly for the first time in a long time. I push my plate away, appetite gone. Do you know what it's like, David? Living in this house alone? Your mother and I filled this place with 45 years of life. Every corner has a memory. And now I'm here by myself, and the silence is so loud sometimes I can't think. Dad, I'm sorry. I'm not asking for pity. I'm just explaining. When I got sick and called Sarah, it wasn't about the flu. It was about needing to know that someone cared if I was alive or dead, and she told me to figure it out myself. That must have hurt. It did. It really did. Because I realized that to her, to both of you, I'm just Dad. I'm not Jim, a man who's grieving and lonely and scared sometimes. I'm just the person who's supposed to have all the answers and solve all the problems and never need anything in return. David doesn't respond immediately. When he does, his voice is thick. I didn't mean to make you feel that way. I know you didn't, but intent doesn't erase impact. So what do you want? You want us to call more? Visit more? I live 3,000 miles away, Dad. I lean back in my chair, looking around my kitchen. Margaret's kitchen, really. She picked out the tile. She chose the color of the walls. She arranged the cabinets. I don't want anything specific. I just want you both to understand that relationships are reciprocal. I can't be the only one putting in effort. He sighs again. You're right. You're probably right. But Dad, Sarah lost the house. The kids were really disappointed. She's been crying for weeks. Mark is talking about therapy because the stress is affecting their marriage. It's bad. Part of me softens at this. I don't want Sarah to suffer. She's my daughter. I love her. I've loved her since the moment she was born, this tiny screaming thing that the nurses placed in my arms while Margaret slept off the exhaustion of labor. I counted her fingers, her toes. I promised her I'd always protect her, always be there for her. But another part of me thinks, I was suffering too, and no one cared. I'm sorry they're going through that, I say carefully. But that doesn't change what happened. Can you at least talk to her, please? If she wants to talk to me, she has my number. She's too proud to call. Then I guess we're at an impasse. David makes a frustrated sound. You're both being stubborn. Maybe. Or maybe we both need time to think about what we want from this relationship. She's your daughter, Dad. You only get one. And she only gets one father. That works both ways. We talk for a few more minutes, but neither of us has anything new to say. He promises to visit next month. We'll see if that actually happens. We say goodbye, and I'm left alone in my kitchen with a plate of cold chicken piccata. I eat dinner alone, as I do every night, but tonight it bothers me more than usual. David's words echo in my head. She's your daughter, Dad. You only get one. I know that. God, do I know that. I remember the day she was born. April 23rd, 1982. I was 30 years old, terrified out of my mind that I'd be a terrible father. Margaret was in labor for 16 hours. 16 hours of watching her in pain, feeling helpless, praying that everything would be okay. And then Sarah arrived, and nothing else mattered. I remember her first steps. Her first word, it was Dada, and I cried. Her first day of school, when she cried and clung to my leg, and I had to pry her fingers off so the teacher could take her inside. I sat in my car in the parking lot for 20 minutes afterward, fighting the urge to go back and get her. I remember teaching her to ride a bike. She must have been 6 or 7. We were in the park, and she kept falling, kept getting frustrated. I can't do it, she'd yell, but I'd pick her up, dust her off, tell her to try again, and eventually she got it. She rode away from me, wobbly but triumphant, and I chased after her laughing. When did that girl become this woman who doesn't have time for her father? No, that's not fair. She's not that girl anymore. She's 43 years old. She has her own children to chase after, her own life to manage. I can't expect her to be 6 years old forever, needing me for everything, but I can expect basic kindness, basic consideration, the things I taught her about treating people with respect and compassion. Maybe that's what hurts the most. Not that she's busy, not that she has her own life, but that she forgot the values Margaret and I spent years instilling in her. I wash my dishes slowly, methodically. Margaret used to say I was the only person who could make washing dishes look like meditation. Maybe she was right. There's something soothing about the warm water, the simple task, the clean results. I'm drawing the last plate when my phone rings again. Unknown number. I almost don't answer, but something makes me pick up. Is this Jim Patterson? A woman's voice, older, stern, familiar somehow. Yes? This is Eleanor Winters, Linda's sister. We met at your wife's funeral. I vaguely remember her. Thin woman, gray hair, tight-lipped disapproval at everything. She cornered me at the reception after Margaret's funeral and talked for 20 minutes about her own health problems while I stood there numb with grief. Hello, Eleanor. I'm calling about this situation with Sarah. Of course she is. I don't think that's really your business, Eleanor. Linda is my sister, which makes this family business, and family doesn't abandon family over petty disagreements. I take a deep breath, counting to 5. I didn't abandon anyone. That's not what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that you refused to help your own daughter with a mortgage because you had a little cold and felt neglected. A little cold? Well, the flu then. Same difference. The point is, you're an adult man. You should be able to handle being sick without needing your busy daughter to baby you. Something in me snaps. Not loudly, not dramatically, but definitively. Eleanor, I'm going to say this once, and then I'm going to hang up. I had a fever of 103 degrees. I was too weak to walk without holding onto walls. I drove myself to the doctor while barely able to see straight. The doctor wanted to admit me to the hospital for dehydration. I was genuinely ill, not seeking attention. Well, yes, but I called Sarah, my daughter, the person I've helped countless times over the years, and asked for help. She told me she was too busy and to handle it myself. So I did. I handled it. Alone. For 7 days. And then, 7 days later, She called asking me to co-sign a mortgage, to commit myself financially to a house for them, and I used her exact words back to her. That's what happened. But surely you understand? What I understand is that you're calling me to lecture me about family loyalty while defending someone who showed me none. What I understand is that everyone seems to think I should give endlessly while asking for nothing. What I understand is that I'm done with this conversation. Now you listen here? No, Eleanor, you listen. My relationship with my daughter is between me and my daughter. Not you, not Linda, not anyone else. If Sarah wants to talk to me, she has my number. Until then, I'd appreciate if you'd mind your own business. Goodbye. I hang up before she can respond. My hands are shaking. Not from illness this time, but from anger. The audacity of people who think they have the right to insert themselves into situations they don't understand. I pour myself a glass of whiskey. Margaret didn't approve of drinking alone, but Margaret isn't here. And tonight, I need it. I sit in the living room with my whiskey and think about everything that's led to this moment. Not just the illness and Sarah's response, but years of small things. Years of being taken for granted. Years of showing up without question while everyone else showed up conditionally. Margaret used to worry about this, especially in her last months when she knew she was leaving me. "Promise me you'll take care of yourself," she said one night, her voice weak from the latest round of chemo. We were lying in bed, and I was holding her hand, feeling how thin it had become. "I promise." "I mean it, Jim. You give so much to everyone. Make sure you save some for yourself." "I'll be fine." "Will you?" She turned her head to look at me, her eyes serious despite the exhaustion. "The kids, they're used to you always being there, always helping. They don't know how to take care of you because you've never asked them to. They'll learn. Will they? Or will they just expect you to keep being the strong one forever?" I didn't have an answer then. I do now. She was right. She was right about everything. And she's not here to say, "I told you so," which is probably the only mercy in this situation. I finish my whiskey and go to bed. Tomorrow is another day of silence, another day of living with my decision, but I'm not sorry. I eat my dinner alone, as I do every night. Another week passes. I get a call from Emma, my granddaughter. She's 11 now, tall for her age, loves soccer and reading fantasy novels. "Grandpa," her voice is small. "Hey, sweetheart, how are you?" "I'm okay." Pause. "Why don't you come over anymore?" My heart clenches. "I've been busy." "Are you mad at Mom?" Kids are too perceptive. We're working through some grown-up stuff. "Is it about the house?" She sounds like she's about to cry. "Tyler said we didn't get the house because of you, but Mom said not to say that. But everybody's sad, and I just want things to go back to normal." I close my eyes. This is the collateral damage. The kids who don't understand why their family is fractured. "Emma, listen to me. The house situation is complicated, but it's not your fault, and it's not really about the house." "Then what's it about?" How do I explain this to an 11-year-old? Sometimes grown-ups hurt each other's feelings without meaning to, and sometimes it takes time to work through those hurt feelings. "But you always forgive me when I hurt your feelings. Because you're a kid, and because when you hurt my feelings, you usually say sorry." "Did Mom say sorry?" "Sort of." "Sort of isn't sorry. That's what Mom tells me." I can't help but smile a little. "You're very smart. So you want Mom to really say sorry?" "I want your mom to understand why I'm hurt. Real apologies come from understanding." "Oh." She processes this. "Grandpa, I miss you." "I miss you too, sweetheart." "Will you come to my game next Saturday? We're playing the Wildcats. They're really good, but I think we can beat them." I hesitate. Showing up to Emma's game means seeing Sarah, seeing Mark, being in that uncomfortable space where everyone knows we're fighting. But Emma didn't do anything wrong. "I'll try, honey." "Promise?" I can hear the hope in her voice, the belief that her grandpa will be there, like he always has been. "I promise." "Okay." She sounds happier. "I love you, Grandpa." "I love you too." After we hang up, I sit with the weight of that promise. I meant it, but I also know it's going to be difficult. The Saturday of Emma's game arrives. I drive to the field, park in the back of the lot, and walk slowly toward the bleachers. I can see Sarah and Mark sitting with other parents. Tyler is playing on the grass with friends. It looks like a perfect family scene. Until Sarah spots me. Her face goes through several emotions in quick succession: surprise, hope, anger, uncertainty. She says something to Mark, who looks over at me with an unreadable expression. I find a seat away from them, on the opposite side of the bleachers. Emma is warming up on the field. When she sees me, her whole face lights up. She waves enthusiastically. I wave back. The game starts. Emma plays well. She's gotten better since I last saw her play, more confident. At halftime, she runs over to me. "You came!" "I promised, didn't I?" She hugs me tightly. I breathe in the smell of grass and kid sweat and soccer field. Normal things. Good things. "Watch this," she says conspiratorially. "Coach taught me a new move." She demonstrates, then runs back to her team. I feel eyes on me and turn to see Sarah watching this interaction. Our eyes meet. She looks away first. Emma's team wins 3-2. She scores one of the goals. Everyone cheers. For a moment, it feels like everything is normal. After the game, Emma runs to me again. Did you see my goal?" "I did. That was amazing." "Can you come to the next one? It's in 2 weeks." Before I can answer, Sarah walks over. Up close, I can see she's lost weight. There are dark circles under her eyes. She looks exhausted. "Hey, Dad," she says quietly. Sarah. Awkward silence. Emma looks between us, sensing the tension. "Why don't you go get your stuff, Em?" Sarah says gently. Emma glances at me, worried. I nod. "I'll see you soon, sweetheart." She leaves reluctantly. Sarah and I stand there, two people who used to know how to talk to each other and now don't. "Thank you for coming," she finally says. "I promised Emma." "I know, still." She takes a breath. "Can we talk? Really talk? Is this the part where you try to convince me to help with another mortgage application?" She flinches. "No, there is no other application. We're staying in our current house. Mark's promotion came through, so we'll be okay eventually. Maybe we'll try again in a year or two. I'm glad about Mark's promotion." "Dad." She looks down at her hands. "I've been thinking, a lot, about what you said, about everything. And you were right." I wait. "I didn't call you. I didn't check on you. I dismissed you when you needed help." She looks up, eyes wet. "And then I had the nerve to demand you help me." "Yes. I was so caught up in my own stuff. The house hunt, the kids, work, Mark's stress, that I didn't see you, not really." "No, you didn't." She wipes at her eyes. "I keep thinking about what you said, about the doctor asking if someone could pick you up, about you having to say no." Her voice breaks. "Mom would have been there." Yes, she would have. She would have been so disappointed in me. I don't contradict her because it's true. "I'm sorry, Dad. I'm really truly sorry. Not because I need something from you, not because I want you to change your mind about the mortgage, just because I was wrong, because I hurt you, because you're my father and you deserved better. It's the apology I needed, the real one, from a place of understanding rather than want." "Thank you," I say simply. "Can you forgive me?" "Eventually. Maybe. I don't know yet." She nods, accepting this. "That's fair." We stand in silence for a moment. Around us, families are packing up, kids are laughing, the normal sounds of a Saturday soccer game. "I don't know how to fix this," she admits. "I don't know how to be the daughter you need me to be. I don't need you to be anything specific. I just need you to see me, to remember that I'm not just here to serve a function in your life. I know that, or I thought I did. But my actions said otherwise, didn't they?" "Yes." She laughs bitterly. "You're not making this easy." "Why should I?" "You shouldn't. You really shouldn't." She looks at me fully now. "Are we going to be okay? Eventually?" "I don't know. That depends on what happens next." "What do you need from me?" I think about this. What do I need? I need you to show up, not just when it's convenient, not just when you want something, but actually show up. Call me sometimes, visit me, check on me, remember that I'm here. I can do that. Can you? Because saying it and doing it are different things. You don't believe me. I don't know what to believe anymore, Sarah. You've said things before. After your mom died, you said you'd be here more, but you weren't. She nods slowly. You're right. I said that. I meant it when I said it. But then life got busy and I let it slip. Life is always busy. That's not an excuse. I know. Emma comes running back, backpack over her shoulder. Are you coming to dinner with us, Grandpa? Sarah and I look at each other. Not tonight, honey, I say gently. But maybe another time. Emma's face falls, but she doesn't argue. She's smart enough to know something is still broken. Okay, love you, Grandpa. Love you too. I watch them walk to their car. Sarah's shoulders are slumped. Emma keeps looking back at me. Mark has Tyler, who who waves at me from a distance. I wave back. I sit in my car for a long time before driving home. Was I too harsh? Should I have accepted her apology immediately, forgiven everything, moved on? Maybe, probably, but something in me still feels raw, still hurts. Forgiveness isn't instant, even when the apology is real. I think about Margaret. What would she want me to do? She'd want me to forgive. Eventually. She'd want our family to heal. But she'd also want Sarah to learn from this, to grow, to become someone who shows up for the people she loves. So I'll wait. I'll watch. I'll see if Sarah's words turn into actions. And maybe, eventually, we'll find our way back to each other. Or maybe we won't. Either way, I'm done pretending everything is fine when it's not. I'm done being the only one who tries. For the first time in my life, I'm putting myself first, and that's not selfish. That's survival. The weeks that follow are different, subtly different, but different nonetheless. Sarah calls. Not every day, I wouldn't expect that, but regularly. Tuesday evenings, she calls just to talk. How was your day? What are you reading? Did you watch the game? Small things, normal things. The kind of things families do when they actually care about each other. At first, I'm skeptical, waiting for the other shoe to drop, waiting for the call where she needs something, but the calls keep coming. And they're just calls. Conversations, no asks, no favors. Just a daughter checking in on her father. The third Tuesday, she says, I'm coming over Saturday. I'm bringing lunch. You don't have to. I know I don't have to. I want to. Saturday arrives, and so does Sarah. She brings sandwiches from the deli Margaret and I used to love. We eat lunch at the kitchen table, and it's awkward at first, but eventually we settle into something resembling normal conversation. She tells me about Emma's soccer, about Tyler's math struggles, about Mark's new position. I tell her about my book club, about Frank next door, about the bird feeder I installed. Dad, she says as we're cleaning up, I know I can't undo what happened, but I want you to know I'm trying. I can see that? Does it make a difference? Yes, it does, but it's going to take time. I understand. She sets the last dish in the cupboard. I'll keep showing up, however long it takes. And she does. Most Saturdays she comes over, sometimes with the kids, sometimes alone. We watch football, work in the garden, sort through Margaret's things, regular family things. About 2 months after the soccer game, Emma asks me, Grandpa, are you and Mom okay now? We're raking leaves in the backyard. Sarah is inside, making hot chocolate. We're getting there, I tell her. Good. I don't like it when you fight. I'm sorry you had to see that. It's okay. Mom says sometimes people who love each other fight, but what matters is fixing it. She looks at me seriously. You do still love her, right? Of course. She's my daughter. I'll always love her. And she loves you. She cries about it sometimes. She thinks I don't know, but I hear her. She tells Dad she's scared she broke things forever. This hits me harder than I expect. She does? Emma nods solemnly. Yeah. Sarah appears with mugs of hot chocolate. Come in before you freeze. That evening after they leave, I think about everything. About how close I came to losing my daughter. About how we're slowly finding our way back. I think about Margaret's words. Make sure you save some for yourself. I did. Finally. I drew a boundary. I said no. I chose myself. And paradoxically, it might have saved my relationship with Sarah. 3 months after the soccer game, Sarah hosts Thanksgiving. David flies in from Seattle. Aunt Linda comes, along with various cousins. Even Janet is there. I'm nervous. But mostly people are just normal. They ask how I've been. Regular Thanksgiving things. Janet corners me in the kitchen. Jim, I owe you an apology. I blink in surprise. You do? I was out of line. Sarah explained everything. I understand now why you did what you did. After dinner, Sarah pulls me aside. I have something for you. She hands me an envelope. Inside is a letter, handwritten, several pages. Read it later, she says, when you're home. That night, I read Sarah's letter. She writes about her childhood, about taking me for granted, about how losing Margaret broke something in her, about the week I was sick, about how she convinced herself I was fine. She writes about realizing I'm not immortal, that one day I'll be gone, and she'll have to live with how she treated me. I don't want that, Dad, she writes. I don't want to stand at your funeral someday, wondering if you knew how much I loved you. So I'm showing up now, not because I need you to co-sign anything, but because you're my father, and you deserve a daughter who actually acts like it. I love you, I'm sorry, and I'm grateful you held your ground. You saved our relationship by refusing to let me continue treating you poorly. I read the letter 3 times, tears streaming down my face. I call her immediately. Dad? She sounds worried. Is everything okay? I read your letter. And I forgive you. I can hear her breath catch. Really? Really. You've shown me you meant what you said. That matters more than anything. She's crying now. Thank you. We talk for another hour, about everything, about the future, the past, Margaret, family, about what comes next. When we hang up, I feel something I haven't felt in over a year, hope. The next morning, I wake to a text from Sarah. Coffee this week? Just us? I smile and type back, Wednesday at 10? Perfect. Love you, Dad. Love you too. I make my coffee in one of Margaret's fancy teacups and look out at the bird feeder. A cardinal is perched there. Margaret always said cardinals were signs from heaven. We're going to be okay, Margaret, I say to the empty room. All of us. And for the first time in a long time, I actually believe it. Inside, I make dinner. I eat at the table with real plates and one of Margaret's teacups for my wine. I'm not just surviving anymore, I'm living. The family isn't perfect. We still have awkward moments. But we're trying. All of us. Together. That night, I dream about Margaret. We're in the garden. You're doing it wrong, she says with love in her voice. I know. But I'm doing it. I'm proud of you. For standing up for yourself. For being strong enough to set boundaries. Was I too harsh? No, you were exactly harsh enough. Sometimes love means letting people face consequences. Yeah, you did that. I miss you. I miss you too. But you're okay. I wake with tears, but peace in my heart. I get up, make coffee, look at the calendar. Garden Day next Saturday, Book Club Tuesday, camping in July, David's visit next month, Emma's soccer banquet in 2 weeks. My calendar is full, not with obligations, but with life, with family, with people who learned to show up, because I learned that I deserved people who showed up. I take my coffee to the porch and watch the sunrise. The cardinal appears on the feeder, Margaret's sign. We did good, didn't we? I say to the bird, to Margaret, to the universe. It was hard, it hurt, but we did good. The cardinal flies away, and I sit in the morning sun, in my garden, in my life, and feel grateful. Grateful for hard lessons. Grateful for the courage to set boundaries. Grateful for a daughter who changed. Grateful for family who learned to show up. Grateful for second chances. This is my life now, and it's good. Not because everything is perfect, but because I finally know my worth, and that makes all the difference.